Used car salesman tricks to make more money. Check it out. What's going on, guys? It's Corey. So I want to talk about tips and tricks that you can implement as a used car salesman, the guy that no one likes, right? The good old used car salesman, right? And I used to be a used car salesman for the most part. Right? I also sold new cars as well because I was at a new car dealership, but I did a lot of damage in the used car department, right? Which allowed me to make a lot of money selling used cars, right? Like I said, I have videos talking about it where I made over 30K in a single month. Right? I got the pay stub, made over 218K in just 9 months. And used cars, played a big role into that, right? If you go on my Corey King Automotive page, you'll see some new cars, but if you scroll down, further, you'll see a lot of used cars as well that I sold. So I want to talk about some of the tips and tricks when it comes to making money as a used car salesman, things that you can watch out for, so that way, you can do it for yourself as well. So let's get into it. First trick or tip, I should say, that I have for you all is to sell trade-ins. So a lot of you might be thinking, why am I saying to sell trade-ins, right? So one of the first things that I used to do every single morning when I got to work was, walk the lot or drive the lot, right? I would come early in the morning, take my car, drive around the used car lot, the new car lot, but I was primarily focused on the used car lot. Why? Because I was driving to the trade department or to the trade section where I know typically cars would come in on trade. And I'll try to find the vehicles that just got on the lot that, probably nobody has, had an opportunity to see yet. Then I'll take the stock numbers and then pretty much try to do some research on those vehicles. So I'll take a picture of the stock number. If it wasn't stocked in yet, I'll take a picture of the VIN number. I'll try to figure out how much did we own the car for, or, how much, could I possibly sell this vehicle for? And then I would take that information, and then when I had a customer that was looking for, something similar or that exact type of vehicle, I would then show it to them. The reason why selling trade-ins is a trick to make more money as a car salesman, especially a used car salesman, is because typically your dealerships, when they get a vehicle in on trade, they typically take it in for less than they would, or buy it for less, I should say, than they would if they were to buy it at the auction. What does that mean? That means they technically steal a car, right? Like that's the verbiage that we use in the car industry a lot of times. Like, oh, we stole that car, whatever the case may be, right? Not literally, but figuratively speaking. So when they steal a car, they take it in for less than market value. So let's say the market value, for example, on whatever X vehicle is 10 grand. So market value is 10K. Let's write that down. So market value is $10,000, but your dealership, whoever took it in on trade, they bought it for $7,000, let's say. So they buy it for 7K. What's going on, everyone? So a lot of you may be interested in figuring out how you can sell more cars and just make more money in general. Listen, click the first link in the description to join the Smarter Salesman University community. Once again, click the first link in the description to join the Smarter Salesman University community. I'm looking forward to helping you out, see if we can share some nuggets with you. More importantly, looking forward to meeting you. Let's get back to the video. Well, that means they basically bought it for $3,000 under market value. So being that that's the case, well, if they go back to retail that vehicle, now if you sell it at market value or potentially even over market value, let's say you sell that vehicle for, 11 grand or 12 grand or whatever the case may be, well, that just means you just made more gross, right? Which means you could get paid more commissions, which means you make more money. Simple and plain, right? So selling trade-ins is big, right? And I'm not saying that other vehicles that your car lot might have that they didn't steal, let's say a vehicle that they bought in the auction, every now and then, they could probably hit a home run at the auction, right? Where they find a vehicle that they absolutely steal, and then you can, also sell that vehicle at market value or a little bit over market value and make a decent gross. But traditionally speaking, the trade-ins is normally where the money's at. Second trick I have for you all is to ask for spiffs on old age units. Let's write that down. No dealership likes a vehicle that's been sitting on their lot for a long period of time. Why? Because the longer a vehicle sits on the lot, the more value that it loses over time. And typically, traditionally speaking, depending on what dealership you're at, the cost is also rising as well. So value is going this way, going down, and cost is going this way, right? So there's a big discrepancy here, which means that money is being lost the longer that a vehicle sits on their lot. So you as a car salesman, right, and some of your dealerships might do this already. Some of them, they might put out spiffs every single month on certain vehicles that's been sitting on their lot for a long period of time, and they're saying, hey, if you sell this vehicle here, we'll pay you $500, we'll pay you $1,000, whatever the case may be. But, if you can do your own due diligence, and if you get a customer, let's say, that's looking for a specific type of vehicle or a certain type of vehicle, let's not even say specific, because if they're looking for specific, if your spiff car is not that specific car, chances are you're probably not going to sell it to them. But let's just say they're looking for a certain archetype. They say, hey, I'm looking for a sedan, right? And then you have this vehicle that's been on your lot for, let's call it 95 days, right? Whatever the case may be. It's been on the lot for over 3 months now, right? And this vehicle fits that description of what the customer might be interested in. So, you'd probably go into to your manager and say, hey, I got this customer that's interested in sedans. I know we had this vehicle that's been on the lot for about 95 days. I'm curious, if I was to push this car, right, and actually get them to purchase this vehicle, could I get a spiff on this deal, right? Could I get $500? Could I get $750? Could I get $1,000? Whatever the case may be, right? Chances are your manager, if they're really trying to get this vehicle off the lot, which majority of the time they are, right, they're more than likely going to agree to pay you a spiff on that deal. So that's just a trick that you can implement. Like I said, some of your stores might be doing this already. So if you know that there's a spiff list of cars that if you sell, you get X amount of dollars, and you get a customer that's interested, unless you can sell a trade-in where you could probably make a bit more, right, I would say then probably try to focus on selling a spiff vehicle at that point, right? Something that can help you make a little bit more on that deal than you probably would have if you just sold a regular car. All right, so that's the second trick. Third trick, and this is not even much of a trick, it's just math, right, is more down. So you should always try to work, for more down when you're working a car deal, right? Why? Because the more down that you can get a customer to, put towards the vehicle that they're purchasing, the lower the amount that they're financing, which means the lower the LTV, which means less risk for the bank, which typically means that they're going to give you a better callback, right? So for example, let's say we have a customer that doesn't have the best of credit. And let's say we have two of these customers. One is putting, $1,000 down, the other one is putting $5,000 down. All right, so the one that's putting $1,000 down, let's hypothetically say they both get approved, all right, but they both have challenge credit. So the one that's putting $1,000 down, chances are that person's going to get approved, but they're going to have a super big bank fee, right? Maybe $2,000, $3,000, whatever the case may be. Now there's a chance that your dealership might not even want to take that deal, but maybe they do. Let's say they end up taking that deal. Well, now you have to take that bank fee and subtract it from your front end, right? So if this was, hypothetically speaking, this deal was gonna be a 2-pounder, let's say $2,000 in the front. There's a $2,000 bank fee. What that means is that now you made no front end, which means you get a flat. This other person that's putting $5,000 down, right? There is no bank fee. There's no bank fee on it. There's a $2,000, front end deal. Now you get $2,000 in the front. You understand? So that might be a little bit more advanced if you're watching this as a beginner, but for those of you that are experienced, you already know the game. So more down always helps the deal because it's only gonna lower the amount that's being financed. It's only going to also, lower the LTV, which means, like I said, less risk for the bank, which typically means a better callback, which means you can keep more front end gross on that deal. All right, so more down, simple trick. If you can get your customers to put more down, tell them, hey, this is gonna help you cover your taxes, your tag, and your license plate, and also help you not be upside down as soon as you buy your vehicle, right? Which is why typically most people come up with, $2 to $3 or even more dollars down when they're buying a vehicle. Next trick that I have for you all is CPO Vehicles. CPO Vehicles stands for Certified Pre-Owned Vehicles, right? I would say if you can try to push certified pre-owned vehicles, chances are you can also make more money, right? Because this also kind of ties in with the same reason that I gave with more down. Certified pre-owned vehicles typically means that they have an extended warranty provided from the manufacturer themselves. So if I'm selling Toyota and I sell a certified pre-owned Toyota, that means that the warranty that's being extended on that vehicle is being provided by the manufacturer themselves, so by Toyota. And it also means that vehicles typically go through a rigorous inspection. So these are all key points for the lender that's buying the vehicle or that's giving out the loan, which means that there's going to be less risk for them. Less risk typically means lower interest rates and lower bank fees. All right, so if you can sell certified pre-owned vehicles, this is also a good point to mention to your customers, which can build up the value of the car, which means that if you can build up the value of the car in their mind, telling them that, hey, this is certified pre-owned, is getting extended warranty coming straight from the manufacturer, then that can also help justify the pricing that you're presenting to them, right? So that can also help you make more money selling certified pre-owned vehicles as well. So these are the 4 tips that I have for you all if you're a used car salesman. Some of the tricks that I would implement as a car salesman to help me make more gross, right? Selling trade-ins, ask for spiffs on old age, more down in certified pre-owned vehicles. There's a lot more tips and tricks, but leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm glad you made it to the end of the video. I got 2 options for you. You can either watch the next video, or you can click the first link in the description to join the Smartest Salesman University community. If you're ready to take your car sales career to the next level, I'm looking forward to helping you out, see if I can share some nuggets with you. More importantly, looking forward to meeting you. Have a blessed day.